Hello, happy, healthy people. My name is Layla, and in this video, I want to talk about radical self-care. What is it? How does it look in the world? And how can we bring it into our lives? But before we get started, today I wanted to cleanse our space and offer us a little bit of a clean, fresh energy. So I want to burn some Palo Santo and just offer this as a moment to let go of anything that you feel is no longer serving you, anything that you want to release, anything that you feel you would be lighter and lovelier without. Let's take 3 deep breaths as we release. And all the way out. I also want to offer, in space of that new cleansed energy, a little bit of love. So this is my love tuning fork to that Om frequency. And as we let love fill this space today and fill us today, I want to get into the topic of this video. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you for allowing me to cleanse our energetic space that we're sharing through this video. And I'm really glad that you're watching this because I believe that radical self-care is what's going to heal the world. I looked up radical self-care on YouTube to see if anyone else had made any videos about it. And there's a video with Angela Davis, and she talks about how she felt that the thing missing really from the Black Panther movement was radical self-care, and this idea that we can put so much out into the world, but if we're not replenishing our own cup, it diminishes the effect we can have on others. And it's this analogy that I like to use, that we're all a bubbling spring, each one of us. And if my spring is dirty and someone else's spring goes out and they come and they say, "Can I drink from your spring?" I don't have clean water to give. So the act of cleansing our own spring and making sure we have clean water for everyone who needs water is radical self-care. So let's get into it. I have this journal and I wrote a few notes, so I'll be looking down at those. So first, I just want to address this idea of self-care, which I think has sort of been co-opted to mean basically treating yourself or kind of impulse relaxation, like you get so burnt out that you just have to go on a vacation, you have to take a bubble bath. And I think it can be very indulgent and impulsive in that way. It's understood to be super sporadic, and often the result or the desire of self-care is immediate pain relief. Now, obviously, there's a lot of pain in this world and there's a lot of pain in our bodies, and so it's really natural for people to want to seek pain relief. However, what radical self-care centers on is that immediate pain relief is a crutch, right? I have a headache right now and I go and take a nap and drink a little bit of water and maybe get a foot massage, I might feel better. It's true. I've done it. It works. But we are not treating that underlying cause. Why did I get a headache in the first place? It wasn't because I wasn't having my daily foot rub, right? Or was it? Or do I need to have that preventative, practice in my life? So what the word radical really means is going to the root. right? If you think about in mathematics, if you take the radical of something, it's like the square root of something. So let's go really to the root. What is the root of that headache I'm having, of that back pain, of whatever that pain is? And when we go to the root and address the root, we don't just get immediate pain relief, we get long-term pain release. And that release allows that source of the pain to no longer be present. So with this radical self-care, it can be painful, right? Because the immediate goal isn't to diminish pain. Sometimes it could be to go into the pain, to explore that feeling, that sensation, no matter how uncomfortable, because maybe going past that gets to the root. This is why radical self-care is not indulgent. It's not about going out and buying yourself a bunch of things. It's actually very disciplined. I even like to think of it as devotional. Because radical self-care is ultimately a spiritual practice. It is this idea of putting your energy first. Cultivating your own personal individual energy field is the most important task in your existence, because that energy is going to affect everything and everyone you come in contact with. So cultivating that energy field, like I talked about earlier, cleaning that spring, allowing our water to be fresh and clear. So it's not going to be something that's retroactive, like, oh, I'm already in pain, I'm already having discomfort, and now I do something. It's proactive, right? This is why radical self-care is often has a daily component at least. It's something that we are really prioritizing before others' needs, before society's expectations of us. First and foremost, it is me and my energy above all. And this can create a really beautiful routine or ritual, something that is a sacred time to commune with the body, your one true love, the body. It is our vehicle to experience this life, and only through caring for it can we fully experience all that there is to experience in this life. So radical self-care isn't going to be super glamorous. It's not going to be something that feels easy. And often it can be immediately met with a lot of resistance. Because when we start taking our problems at the root, we really find out that on some energetic level, somehow in some way, we are choosing our reality. We create our reality. And anyone who denies that is denying their power. We are infinitely powerful, and we choose our reality. So on some level, that pain is a choice. And becoming deeply responsible for the choices that you're making, even if they're on a subconscious level, is self-care. Becoming responsible for the ways that your patterns and habits are maybe not supportive or maybe not productive. And then taking the initiative to build new habits and ingrain and program in new patterns into the system. And it's very difficult. It takes a lot of time, a lot of effort. And I believe from the bottom of my heart that this is where true liberation starts. And I think a lot of people in this world are really concerned with freedom, right? Feeling free. And what I just learned is that German New Medicine says that when you no longer fear your body, then no one can control you. So going into our body, going into ourselves, even the parts that scare us, especially the parts that scare you. I invite you to really go and greet them, to meet yourself where you're at. And this is why I think another great term for radical self-care is also radical self-acceptance. Accepting all of those parts of you, even the parts that are cringy and weird and make you want to throw up and make your stomach tie in little knots and you just want to hide in a corner and never see anyone. Those parts. What are those parts, and what are they teaching you about yourself? What can they show you about your health? And I believe that those parts are the key. Those are our shadows. Those are our dark spots. And through transmutation, we can turn those into light. We can bring those parts into our consciousness and then use them. And use that full spectrum of our experience, the dark and the light, right? So this is a radical shift from, I think, what we've been told, which is there's so many distractions outside that are drawing your energy out. I mean, do you notice all the things that pop up in your day that are trying to take your energy away? Well, I'm asking you to take your energy right back into here, right back into yourself. And that is the most radical thing you can do, is that when everyone is trying to distract you, you use your energy and like a mirror. We do in my Qigong class, we do a move like that where you're sending the Qi out, and then you flip it back like a mirror because you're sending it back to yourself. You're using your energy for you. And as someone who, was raised in this patriarchal culture, this is hard for me as a woman. Especially as women, we're told, put your energy on your family, on your parents, on your partner, on your children, on your friends, on your community, right? And we're in such deep, deep states of service, which is beautiful. And we can't give someone water from our spring if our spring isn't clean. And so redirecting that energy towards yourself is the gift that this world needs. It is the gift that your community is waiting for. Because when you do it, it affects everyone and it affects everything. And even though you're just starting with you, and maybe you're ending with you, and you, it's the beginning and the end. And that in itself is so radical. And it liberates you from any external system or any outside source of authority. And it also liberates those around you. Because you're loving your whole self. You're not saying, no part of you is not worthy of love. No part of you is not worthy of health. And that belief is so profound. And that, to me, is the essence of radical self-care. So I invite you to love yourself, love your whole self. And love, I mean that in such an all-encompassing way. Because sometimes love is discipline. Sometimes love is softness. Sometimes love is structure. Sometimes love is warmth. And so what do you need in each moment? And the only way to truly know is to go to the root. So many problems are so surface level. I suffered from headaches, indigestion, back pain, things like this. They're symptoms. That is not the problem. That's not what we're trying to cure. That is showing me that there's something underneath that needs my attention. So go to the root. That is what's going to get true, lasting liberation. Thank you for choosing health, for choosing full body and full life If you liked this video, if you resonated with anything that I said, please like this video so I know that I should make more. I'll make more even if you don't like it, because I believe this is the truth. And if something did resonate with you, leave a comment below. What spoke to you about this idea of radically recentering yourself in your own energy and going to the root of your pain? Tell me, please. From my heart to your home, thank you.